to the Cinementalists. Noun, plural. Definition, those whose love for movies runs so deep, they can't help but do a podcast about them. Hosted by Colton Robertson and Joseph George. Hello everybody and welcome in to the Cinementalists, where today we are discussing In the Mood for Love, originally premiering at Cannes on May 20th, 2000, written and directed for the screen by Wong Kar-Wai. I am Colton Robertson. I'm joined by Joseph George. What's up, homie?
Oh, what up, what up? Always a pleasure to be here.
Oh, and it's always a pleasure to have you, and we've got a goodie on the docket today. In the Mood for Love. This was my third viewing of In the Mood for Love. I believe it was a first viewing for you, though, correct?
Indeed, yes, very first.
How'd it feel? How does tried it on for size? How'd it fit?
Yeah, I mean this month has brought a range of romance movies, and I didn't, I thought this one was just going to be more kind of classic, down the pipeline romance movie. No. We got the.
If it wasn't for Wild at Heart, this would probably be the most atypical romance movie on the docket this month.
Mm-hmm. So very, very much a surprise, and cool at that. Like, I mean, am I crazy, or are there some things happening out of order? Sometimes, or like they play, like, it's rehearsal, but then it like, did that actually happen, like, for real? And then,
there's a point in this movie that makes you question what has actually occurred.
Yeah.
Whenever they cut
Big
back
time.
to room 2046 and he's standing in the same spot that he was before she showed up the first time.
Yeah.
And you're like, wait, did he like imagine what would happen if she showed up? Or and don't get me wrong, like, when it comes to, I feel like it's almost arbitrary. One way or the other, it's like, okay, none of this happened. It's him imagining a life. He's a writer. He's doing a fantasy about what would happen if this occurred. This is a romance fantasy he's writing in his head, and that's all that we're seeing. Okay, cool. That could be the case. But the other option is that it all actually is happening, and it's inspiration for a story he is writing in that room, which I think is the more likely option, especially given context. There's a sequel to this movie. It's called 2046.
No.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Come on.
And it's, it's not exactly like, if you watched that movie and had no idea it was a sequel to In the Mood for Love, there's probably not a lot that would make you go, this is obviously a sequel to In the Mood for Love. But there's more than enough connecting it that within context you're very, very familiar with it. And I won't spoil any of that at all, but 2046 is also a very good movie. Very good movie.
Yeah. Is it 46 or is it 48?
2046.
So, dang, two off of a power of two. Would have been really cool if it was the power of two. I don't know, that just works really well. Okay, but no. But yeah, this I didn't know that. I guess it still carries it. The story very much could carry on. Like, I'm left at the end being like, no. Like, I do need more context.
Him whispering into the fucking. Oh God, I love it.
Anchor Wat? Are you kidding me, dude? This fucking. Oh my God, this is almost up there with the pyramids for me.
Gorgeous.
This fucking behemoth of a. Just, I don't even know. It's a city. I mean, the biggest water moat ever dug, and then the stonework is unfucking real. But yeah, just what's the secret? Is it just that he kind of also fell in love? Is that the secret, or is it like, I don't know, that kid, man? I'm going like back and forth on who is the father of that child,
right?
That we see at the end, and that, I mean, I just thought of the secret that he says into the wall. That would be like a worthy secret of, like,
that would be a worthy secret of the wall. But I do think that it's important that one of the things he's really trying to do is move on. So I think him planting the secret of his love there is him leaving it behind, almost like this was something, it will never be again. I leave it here, and I'm gone. Because isn't there like a little title card? I also, sorry for everybody listening, I have seen the movie 3 times. However, we planned to record this episode a week ago today, so I watched the movie 8 days ago.
Yeah, it's been a whirlwind.
It has been
That's
been
for
quite
sure.
the week. It's been quite the week. So regardless, yeah, that's isn't there a title card that's like that says something about how like there
everything
like
that was there is gone. So I remember something like that, or like anything that was there is gone and has passed. That era is over.
That era is over. Yes. Yeah. That's I believe that's I take it to be more about that than I do about the kids strictly. However, I don't mind your theorizing about the fatherhood of the child because it does seem relevant. But I love the movie. I think that when it comes to performances, Maggie Cheung and Tony Leung are just incredible. Tony Leung, obviously, you are very familiar with, as he was a co-lead in Hard Boiled. He was the cop in Hard Boiled. Then, or like not the cop. He was the dirty one. The one who like rode with that gang, and then God, I loved Hard Boiled. And he was Wenwu in Shang-Chi.
Oh my God, so young here.
Yes,
wow.
very, very
or
young.
like
very
yes,
young.
Okay, dang. Yeah, wow. I would not have put that together, actually.
Yeah, Tony Leung has been around a minute, and he's done a lot of incredible work. A lot of incredible work with Wong Kar-Wai. He was also a co-lead in Chungking Express, another great Wong Kar-Wai film. Happy Together, which is actually a really, really great queer love story, and one that we might get around to in come June, if we're feeling this one as much as I am. I love this filmmaker. I love these leads, and it comes together to form what is just a masterpiece in yearning. Very few movies have ever captured the essence of just fucking desire the way that this movie has.
Tension, yearning, desire in a bottle. I mean, and just fucking shake it up, and it's I mean, that's why I really think like that kid could have happened. It's like no way they didn't. Right?
Nothing ever happened.
It's like I mean, because it's like okay, there's already an affair on the table. You know, like they didn't jump first, so it's like. It's not like it's a great, you know. It's like you shouldn't, you know. But it's like,
don't get me wrong. I don't think there's not a single bit of me that would be upset if they did. You know, like if they'd gone for it, fuck it. You know, let's go. They do it. Good for them. You know, their spouses are cheating on them with each other. Let's go.
Yeah,
you get yours. You know, you fall in love, but I appreciate the idea that principally they won't let themselves do anything because they won't stoop to their level. Yeah. Now, is there an argument to be had that falling in love is, you know, it's definitely cheating. You know, like it's you know, you're not physically cheating, but if you're hopelessly devoted to someone else to the point where you're like, yeah, I gotta up and move our roots completely. Like we've gotta leave entirely. And it seems like he, again, unclear. It seems like he did leave his wife.
Oh yeah. Wait. He was in. Where did he move to?
Singapore.
Singapore. Yeah. He was in Singapore by
himself, right?
Yeah.
That's why I'm like, he says at the end of the movie, like he takes the action. You know, that's the action that he's willing to take. You know, he's not ready to cheat. Duh. He's ready to leave and then make this happen. And that's why he leaves for Singapore, is because he's like, I know that you won't leave your husband. You know, like I know you won't do it, so I'm going. You know, I would love for you to come with me, but I know you won't.
Does she leave her? I mean, she's alone too, right? She's single at the end. It's just a mother and a child that live there.
It does seem that way. Yes.
Yeah. So like they both. I didn't think of this, but like I thought the only two possibilities that existed were to continue the marriage on and just, they know of the affair, but just let it happen or whatever, or they just, they're together now and or what, it's like,
I think they both end up single.
Yeah, they both leave. Like, I feel like that's odd. Like, it's just like is they know they can't continue together, like in the way that they kind of want to, but then they go back to their real relationship and it's like, oh wait, well fuck. And it's like, what do I do now? Like, I feel like that no way that could have lasted.
Yeah, you don't just enter back into that space and it's the same.
The kid is a lot more interesting now. Mm-hmm. Yeah, of like how old the kid is, and like, because she goes to Singapore and like, okay, now that things happen out of order, he found that cigar butt with the lipstick on it. And I'm like, huh? Wait, what? Like, what is this? And then later, we see her in his apartment, then smoking that cigarette. So like that, and I had to rewind to like, no, I'm like, wait, what the fuck? I'm like, no way. Like, I just saw it, and then it like, I'm seeing it out of order. I thought I was out of order.
A lot of very, very fanciful editing occurring.
Yeah. Yes. So like, I don't know. Do you think that it truly was a missed encounter? Wait, because she called him from inside his apartment. Wait a minute. And then he found the butt. Wait, how does that... Wait a minute. Wait, now I'm actually out of order again. So if the butt is already in there and she called him from his apartment, but he finds... Oh yeah, he just knows. Or I don't know. So that conversation that he has, I guess, with his friend about, saying the secret into a tree just happens afterwards.
Yes.
Oh, so he really, really needs to tell a secret right after.
Yeah, he's like, I really gotta get this out.
So, okay, wait. So no, something happened in Singapore then, like for sure, right? Like what? Why? I feel like
they give date cards too.
Yeah. Like no kid at all. She visits Singapore. Boom, where she's single mother with a kid. I feel like if she knows of the affair and she's gonna leave anyways, does she then have a kid with her husband that she already knows is cheating on her? Is like, I feel like she leaves, but like, oh man, this is so much like more ambiguous than I thought.
It's also messier than just, does she choose to have a kid with her husband who she's going to leave? Like, sometimes these things just happen, and sometimes you don't want to do something about it, so you go ahead and have the kid.
Yeah. Oh man, it's crazy how like many different ways you can actually kind of view this, and it is like, I think a matter of like how much like faith or how much on principle you think they truly are, because I think at the like Chow has a friend that is, I don't know what the friend's name is, but kind of the guy that used to borrow $30 and he's kind of like, I'm not like that, he just kind of says like, I'm just not like that, like, and it just he feels, they both feel very principled, and like, even though they both know what they're doing, I think like very well, like they're both playing it off as like a rehearsal or like and everything of what's going to go down later. But I think they both fully know what's going on in the time, but they obviously have not brought it to the level that their spouses have. So like they still haven't done anything wrong, and it just so happens that like, damn, they fell in love, and that's I don't think that's like a guarantee, I don't think like if you're neighbors with someone and you find out that you're having an affair, with
it's actually,
this triangle happens. Yeah, it's not.
It's actually very strange that the way it happens is almost because they try to find solace, like friendship, because they are both always alone because their spouses are always off cheating with each other. Yeah. So they start spending time together, and they're so wrapped up in perception and societal expectation that even though they are not the ones cheating, they sneak around like they are.
Yeah.
What will people say if they see us together? What will they think if we come home at the same time? What will they do if, but their spouses are cheating with one another. So it's, and they haven't let themselves, and again, I go back to that, I go back to the idea that I really just, I don't think that they did it. I think that the entire it is, my bad. I didn't mean to make it like, I don't think that they consummated their love, as it were. Because I love there's an ambiguity for Tony Leung's character, where he's actually not entirely sure she feels the same way. You know, I'm pretty sure there's a line where he does expressly ask, basically, like, and I don't know, I never knew if my feelings were reciprocated. And obviously we know they were. And I guess that, you know, there doesn't have to be a physical expression of it. There doesn't, just because there is a physical expression of it doesn't mean that the love is there, strictly. But I do feel like he would have a better sense of that if there had been a physical, if they'd had sex. And I think that ultimately when it comes to almost the point of what they're playing with here, it is that restraint. You know, it is holding back. It is because they almost forfeited their right to happiness, even though they didn't have to. You know, like they could have done this. They could have ran away together, and they could have, you know, made their dreams come true, as it were. But why don't they? Almost. It's
fuck. It's like I don't know what ending I actually want. Like,
right.
Because like they, you know, he's a writer, and it seems that he has like wasn't he writing something separate than like his normal job? Like this was that he was working on like he had writer's block on something, I feel like I remember, and then like I'm
pretty sure he's a beat writer, and he's trying to make his way into comic strips. Like he's trying to write martial arts stories.
That's right. Yes. And like, is that what he normally does, like all the time, or
no? That is not what he normally does all the time. He does work for a paper. He does work for a paper, if I'm not mistaken, but he does not have the privilege of being one of the writers for the comic strips. He's just I can't remember if he's an editor or if he's a beat writer or something, but he or a copier. Like he works for a paper. Another thing that's important is that this takes place in the 60s, which is arbitrary kind of to the viewer, but like does add a certain layer to the amount of jobs you can have at a newspaper. Because now it's just kind of like writer, and you know, and editor, not as many, because print journalism is basically fucking dead. But
that is weird.
So that's another thing. Is like he could have been working for a paper, and he could have not been a writer and wanted to be a writer. But I feel like for some reason he was a beat writer.
But I mean, I think it was, you know, maybe writing for a newspaper, or like maybe I feel like the martial arts thing was kind of his like what he would truly want to write about.
Yeah, 100%. That's that part I know for a fact, is that he was not doing that for the paper, and he wanted to do it for the paper.
Yeah. And that's like what he was writing, right? And like, did she even kind of like proofread?
Yeah, she would edit it for him and everything. Yeah,
because like she loved to read, he loved to write. He was writing what he, you know, they were both in their groove. I was kind of like, oh shit, like I'm like in my head, I'm like, okay, well they both definitely ride off into the sunset together, right? But it's like it is almost better that the restraint was held like the whole time. Like
they never give in.
Oh my God, it's terrible, and they're so close to each other every time. Like she goes to Singapore, she's in his apartment, actually in his apartment, like for real. But then when he goes back to Hong Kong, it's not actually her apartment. You know, he goes just into his old place. But then she's right there actually. Like if you just knocked on that door, man, I think you would have seen a single mom and maybe your kid, but I don't actually think so. I'm really going back and forth now. Like this, it is very hard to make a concrete decision. But Singapore is interesting. That like the lipstick, I don't know. She was in there, and then I don't know, he goes to his friend, he's like, dude, you ever heard of this tradition where like, oh my god, where like you if you need to tell a secret and like you can't tell anyone? It's kind of like a weird thing to kind of bring up right after she visits Singapore.
Another thing again that I think is important is that societally, again, and frankly still, it's not exactly acceptable to fall in love with somebody when you are in a marriage, so that is enough for as far as a secret that he needs to express that he can't let out.
And he just and
it's almost more for her than it is for him, because they I don't think he cares that much if people know what he's up to. It's always her. And it's always her who's like, what if they see us? What if this happens? And then whenever he starts to think that way, it's almost because he's looking out for her. Oh, you're right. I think there's literally a point where he goes, oh yeah, I didn't even think of that. Whenever he brings the umbrella to her, she's like, what if people see me with your umbrella? And he's like, oh yeah, how stupid of me. Damn. Everyone pays attention to exactly what umbrella I carry everywhere. I don't think that he cares as much as she does. And there's even a point where his coworker friend guy, they don't run in the same circles, but he's familiar with Maggie Cheung's character. Like, he knows who she is and who he's talking about. He's seen her. There's not enough degree of removal for him to be like, so I'm falling in love with my neighbor's wife, everyone knows who he's talking about if he says that. So I do think that when it comes to the secrecy of it, I think it is enough, beyond the child of it all.
Yeah. I'm much more in the camp of full restraint, that isn't their kid, but the only I feel like she is single at the end, at least it seems that way. It's just a mother and her son, but like I feel like they both leave after, the tragedy is that they didn't really get together and he goes off to Singapore or whatever.
Yeah.
But like, what happens in that gap right there? Like that, I think, does he leave immediately when he's going to Singapore? Is that him leaving his wife there?
Yeah, that is.
Like, it's like, boom. Yeah, so I mean, I guess we know when
I'm pretty sure he's like, I leave in 2 days. Yeah, or something like that. Like, he's like, I leave in 2 days. Yeah. That's when I'm going.
So how long does she stay with her husband still?
That's the part that's unclear.
Yeah. Yeah, long enough to have a kid, though.
And that's the other thing, too. Is it, again, I know I've seen the movie a few times, but it has been over a week since I watched it last. There's an implication that she's alone, but she was alone for most of the movie.
Yeah.
She would be, if her husband is away on business all the time, like he says he is, and I'm sure he sometimes is, obviously he did also cheat on her a lot. But I do think his job does genuinely take him out of town, and that is why he's able to cheat as freely as he does. Is there an argument to be made that she still hasn't left her husband? That she's not a single mom? I can't remember if there's like are there lines spoken with a neighbor who say, like, you're raising the kid on your own or something like that? Like,
I think he brings her up, like, who's living there now, he says a mother with her
that's right,
kid,
a mother
son.
and her kid. Yeah, that's right.
So like, it would just be weird to kind of like to not mention, just to say
you're right. That's why I was like, I was looking for that detail, because I was like, I feel like there might be there might be a more hardcore implication, but I can't remember if it was just us watching and observing it. Yeah, you're
neighbor.
Right. There is definitely an implication there.
So like, does she stay with him? Having a kid with him just seems actually unlikely. Like, kind of, and maybe it is society, like pressuring her into like keeping the marriage alive or whatever, and like having that kid. But like, I feel like maybe the marriage stays alive for a little bit, marriage in air quotes, but like, I don't know if it stays alive enough to have a kid together. And then, oh man, I'm going back and forth so hard because like I want this full restraint thing to kind of be there, but then like, this kid is kind of. It would have been more beautiful if it is his kid, and then he does knock on the door, and then does find her, and then they
that's where I'm like, I think
happen.
because it doesn't happen, it implies to me that nothing ever happened. Like obviously their marriage was doomed to fail no matter what. Now, going off of kind of history, sometimes people have kids to try to save their fucking marriage. Like that is something that people do, which is dumb, but it is something that people do. And sometimes it doesn't work, like it would seem didn't work here.
Oh man, I had no idea this movie would be this much of like a thinker, I am in like theory mode, almost for this movie, which is gnarly, and it was just so not what I was expecting at all. And then like this, is this a Spanish word? Like that is okay, is it quesas or what, like the song, the quesas, it sounds Spanish. It
does sound Spanish
in tone, but I don't know if it's actually quesas, if it's two words, if it's one word that's being spoken. Whatever that song is, I fucking love.
No, there's a lot of really, really great music. The repeated music cue whenever they like brush shoulders and they're like walking by each other is really, really great.
What genre is that? Like the just slow strum, like in it's not like jazz, but it's I don't know what to call it. It's just very the sensual. Anytime there's like the slow mo, I loved every time it did slow down, and like you really got to live with what was happening. It's like it's just at the beginning.
I looked it up. Quizás is Spanish.
Quizás. Okay.
Quizás. It translates to maybe.
Maybe. Quizás. Maybe. Huh. Like the way they kind of play with time and show things out of order, it does really make me wonder if like we are seeing things as they truly occur, or like what is rehearsal, what is actually occurring, what is like them, are they like also rehearsing in their head for what they would tell their actual spouse, what they would say, I don't know, like it feels like there's a lot of different layers that are going on here, but I feel like I kind of take the movie more at just like face value, like what I saw is what actually occurred. And even though it is a little out of order sometimes,
there's also an argument to be made that I think a lot of the title cards and there's almost a certain retrospection of it, like almost it's being recollected by him, because I do think that the movie is largely through his lens.
Yeah, true.
And
him being a writer too is a little.
I do think him looking at like almost like it's him looking back and writing about it, which I do think sensationalizes things too. And I think that Wong Kar-Wai deploys a lot of really enigmatic slow motion and mise-en-scene, and he's just really, really capturing desire and the intimacy of that feeling, that oneness with somebody who you can't have. And they're like, and it's almost like there's this sheen of like, I love whenever he does this in movies. And if you watch more Wong Kar-Wai movies, you'll see it a lot. There's this visual effect that is almost like slow motion. And it is slow motion, but it almost looks like there's frames removed.
I feel like there was a little bit. Yeah,
there is a little bit of
like that.
And there's plenty of it in Chungking Express and Happy Together in 2046. This is something that Wong Kar-Wai, in partnership with Christopher Doyle, a very usual cinematographer of his, it's something that they do a lot of. And it always works, and it almost always, for me, comes across as ethereal and unreal. And not unreal in the sense that it's not actually happening, but I do think that the idea that it almost plays more as a memory in those moments kind of gels in my mind. Like whenever there's this view of them standing in the rain under the umbrella or under that little ridge that she's hiding under, that's one of the moments, like you see it kind of go to that. And I feel like it's almost like it's cueing us in for the idea that he's remembering this almost. And again, that's entirely interpretational. Like it's not explicit by any stretch. But I do think a lot of the movie is him writing about it. At least that's how it makes me feel.
And like, I don't know, it brings a whole new feeling to like the rehearsal. And like, is this just what he would want to have happened? Is he remembering on true events and writing about it in the future? Is it him writing about it in the time, in the very now of like, there's so many. Oh my God.
Yeah. Like is that what he is also working on while they are having this emotional affair? You know, like I know he's showing her excerpts of something.
Yeah, true.
But is he also writing this?
Oh, dude. I mean, what a movie. Like, what the heck? Like, what is this? It's romance for sure. Like, there's no doubt that it's a romance movie. Like, I don't even know what other genre do you give it. Like, no, it's a
romantic drama. Yeah, like it's a romantic drama, and it's fascinating too, though, because it's almost like an anti-romance film because it structurally completely negates everything you understand about romance, and writing wise refuses to give in to what a typical romance would give into. It doesn't allow them to express their love. It keeps them restrained, and it does not give them a happy ending. Which obviously we've seen plenty of romance movies that don't give characters happy endings. But there's, I don't know, like it plays similarly to Past Lives in that way, where like it refuses to give you satisfaction. Which I really, really enjoy. I love when a romance movie does that. It's just like it's what most real life romances are like, which is, you know, want, desire, but a lot of situations end up being right person, wrong time, right person, wrong circumstance. And that's just life. That's just kind of the way things go sometimes. So I think even though In the Mood for Love is a very sensationalized version of it, and Past Lives is a much more down-to-earth, realistic expression of it, I do think they're capturing a pretty similar feeling, which is this nostalgia. I think that, and it's not as explicit in this movie, but I do think that the 60s setting and the sheen of memory and the inherent, you know, not nostalgia. I don't want to keep going back on the word nostalgia, but
there's a memory gloss.
The reflectiveness, the inherent reflectiveness of writing. Like you have to go introspection. You have to go introspection, and you have to look back. And therein, a lot of it ends up reflecting a lot of memory and a lot of nostalgia. So I think that there's a lot of that here, and I think that it ultimately pays off in a really big way, in a similar way to Past Lives, and ultimately in a way that is arguably a better made movie, which is says a lot coming from me because I love Past Lives. But In the Mood for Love is fucking gorgeous, and it's so beautifully performed. It's so beautiful to look at. There's beautiful music. It's one of those movies where I struggle to tell you there's a hole in it. You know, like it's watertight. There's no leaks. It just feels complete in every regard, in my opinion.
I mean, Wong Kar-Wai on the radar. That I mean, this is the one of one that I have of him so far. I mean, and but holy shit,
great director.
I mean, is this peak for him? Like, is this actually just his
it's
peak
probably
movie?
my favorite of his. Chungking Express really, really gives it a run for its money for me. There's a very popular movie I've never watched called Fallen Angels that he did, but I've heard just incredible things about. It is definitely on the watch list. he did an English, an American English, and I don't want to say American, but English movie, led by Jude Law, or Jude Law's in it. It's called Blueberry Nights. That seems really, really intriguing to me. He's got a show on Criterion right now called Blossoms Shanghai, which seems dope. So there's a ton of Wong Kar
on Criterion.
Yeah, there's a few of them. There's a few of them. But yeah, he's got one called Blossoms Shanghai. So definitely a director and filmmaker more than worthy of your attention, and could be a new favorite on the horizon, because it's not that they all strike this exact tone, but they do feel like this. He has a style. Yeah. He has a visceral style and identity as a filmmaker, and we love that. I know I do. I love whenever I can look at something and go, oh, he made this, or she made this, they made this. And it's, he's one of those guys. You watch Chungking Express, you watch Happy Together, you're going to know it's a Wong Kar-Wai movie. And it's really, really special filmmaker in that regard.
And I always feel kind of pish posh, or I don't know how to explain this feeling of whenever I say this, but like this feels like a much more artful movie. Like this is more of a work of art rather than just a movie by itself.
No, well, there's an entire genre of movies, or entire style of movies that people describe as art house cinema. You know, like it was made with the intention of almost feeling more like a museum piece than feeling like casual entertainment, you know, something that you are meant to study and look at and admire, and, you know, you're not just supposed to soak it in and let it happen, turn your brain off, you know, that's it. And this is an art house film. That's for sure. I think that there are different levels to this shit. There are different levels to everything, you know, like, all due respect, because what they're doing is perfectly valid. It's making a ton of money, and it's making a lot of people happy, and it always has. You're not going to catch me saying the Russo brothers are making the same type of movie Wong Kar-Wai is. You know what I'm saying? Like they're just not, and they won't attest to the fact that they are. You know what I'm saying? You know, like, and I won't. I'm not going to negate what they do as not art, but it's much more commercial art. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's something that's a lot more palatable and easy to take on, and that's, again, not an inherently negative thing, but it just means that there's levels to this shit, and there's even smaller gaps in that regard. You know, like Rob Reiner, who I viewed as an incredibly talented director, who did a lot of really incredible work. Princess Bride, When Harry Met Sally, Stand By Me, all these guys. You know, again, closer to Wong Kar-Wai than he is the Russo brothers, but he's not an art house filmmaker. That's not what he's going for. He's trying to capture a feeling and make people feel good, and that's all that was kind of all he was trying to do.
It does belong somewhere else. Like this is like I think it is just like when a director has such a distinct style, and like I haven't seen many of his movies, but like I feel like you did say, like you
already feel it. You already know exactly what that's gonna feel like. And there's something to that, even though you are only one deep, that you can tell what that identity is. You can feel it. It comes through in such a visceral way that you understand what makes this filmmaker. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's something that's really fascinating about, like, even Celine Song, who has only done 2 films, and to go back to Past Lives as a comparison, Past Lives isn't something that I would call an art house movie. But the successor to her release of Past Lives, The Materialists, which came out last year, Chris Evans, Dakota Johnson, Pedro Pascal, much more commercial than Past Lives. You know what I'm saying? Like, again, just levels to this shit, and there can even be levels within a filmmaker's filmography. David Lynch, you know, like Dune.
It does exist.
Not the same type of movie as Inland Empire. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's just a lot. There's such a freedom in filmmaking, and hopefully, as a filmmaker, you get to experience that kind of freedom. But being able to make anything you want because you want to make it just seems like such a profound privilege. And Wong Kar-Wai is a really, really talented director, and you can see that here.
It's nuts that, like, on the grand scope of things, not a lot happens in this movie at all. Like, they're sitting in the same room. Like, it is the same two people. Like, really, we're in the same locations almost the entire time. There's nothing that actually changes. It's just like, but the wallpaper is so beautiful. The dresses, oh, dude, oh, come on. I mean, like, the number of dresses that we got to see as well was,
oh my God, costume design, awesome. Production design. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous movie. And
red curtains.
Curtains. I knew you'd love that. What the fuck? Love that. Yeah. I was like, he's gonna be all over this Twin Peaks shit.
And he pauses. He walks fucking out of his apartment, or out of the hotel
stops
room,
mid-stride.
And he stops, and it freezes. And I'm like, what the shit is going on? I'm like, wait a minute. Like, in what world am I watching the right show? Did I hit the right button? You know, am I actually in Peaks mode? No, but yeah, no. I mean, I think it is like everything. The dresses, the costumes, the I don't know, the furniture, the fucking music, everything goes together. Like everything. It's
such a profoundly beautiful movie to look at, and that's something that I think you'll find again with like I watched Chungking Express for the first time within the last couple weeks, which is why it's really fresh on my mind and why I'm able to kind of reference it so immediately. Very similar kind of movie where, again, like you're describing, on paper, not a ton happens here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's all internal. It's all very intrinsic, and it's very self-evaluating and introspective, and all those pretty buzzwords. But there's such an interesting choice in Chungking Express, where I almost don't even want to spoil it because it's so befuddling as a choice to do in a movie, in my opinion, that you almost kind of have to experience it yourself. And it's not an inherently good thing that it does. It's not an inherently bad thing it does. It's entirely up to you to decide whether or not you like it as a choice. I loved it. I thought it was a really, I was kind of getting to a point with a part of the story where I was like, man, how are we going to do this for 2 hours? And we just don't. It's just, that story just ends, and then there's another fucking story. And it's like, oh, okay, dope, you know, like, and then like, it seems like it's going to be really rewarding on rewatch too, which I can't wait to do. But it's like the concept of Inyan as a movie.
Ooh.
Which I know you'll love. That's all I got to say to sell.
That's all you got. That's what I was exactly. You took the words out of my mouth. I'm like, that's it. You had
and that's the essence of. I think this movie has a lot of that going for it too. You know, like what were we in a past life, and what will we be in the next life? And I think that this, in conjunction with 2046, kind of plays with that concept a lot. And
it's so cool. It's like a sequel, but not really a sequel. It's like a.
I kind of. It's definitely a sequel. Like it's definitely, but Maggie Chung, for example, is not in it. She's not in 2046, but it deals a lot with
several women enter a science fiction author's life over the course of a few years. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yes. Is this another? Is it actually happening, or is he writing?
Oh, 100%. 100%. The first scene of that movie is basically a 3-minute segment that is this whole movie.
Oh.
It's just like one story, like one short story. The short story version of this movie is like the first 3 minutes of that movie. And you're like, oh, okay, fuck yeah. And I mean, I might be exaggerating. I was really high when I watched it. It might be like 15 to 20 minutes, but it felt so fast because I've watched this movie. And I was like, whoa, this is just in the mood for love, isn't it?
That's so crazy that like writer's inspiration, you know, the best thing they can pull from is just memory. If you actually got a love story, and you know, maybe you can put some you know, if you're inserting it into a martial arts story, whatever, you gotta whatever. But like if you're going from real memory, like the craziest thing is like that to everyone else that's reading it, they'll just think, oh wow, they came up with such a good love story, like what a good writer. But then there's one person in the entire world that would read it and be like, oh my fucking God.
Is this fucking play about
this
me?
This is us. Like, that is that it's only a singular person that would actually understand it and like know that it's them. And that's like one thing about love that I find to be like the most pure is like there are certain things that to everyone else in the world don't make sense or there's not even anything there, but for these two people alone it's there, and
it'll always exist.
Yeah, I feel like that was his, I feel like he did say he had writer's block or like that, or I don't know if it was exactly that or just that he wasn't going for it, he was just doing his job and not kind of going for anything above. And then like just to see, I don't know, like everything was just going so well. And then now that I'm at this point of like, no, like actually the best ending is not them together at the end, like him knocking on that door and just continuing life is like, it is actually like sweeter in such a weird way to like leave it in this time capsule or like in this perfect moment in time. And they both knew, they both held strong on their principles and moved on. But man, that's the thing, throw is that a wrench into things. I feel
the child could throw a wrench into things, but also like we've talked about the concept of love a lot on this podcast and how in theory it doesn't really end. And whenever something doesn't give you, whenever you don't get closure, the way he obviously does not, and the way there's not a big blow up, there's not a fight, there's not this is the end of things because it has to be the end of things. This is the end of things because it is the end of things. There's no reason for it. It just is. Now, obviously there is the reason of like, she's not going to leave her husband. But it's not because of who he is. It's not because of something they've done. It's just, this is the life that we live. This is where I am. Again, to connect it back to past lives, this is the life that I'm in, and this is the life I'm supposed to be living. So this is where I'm at, and thereby he never gets any sense of closure. How much does he live in this story? How much does he compare any, three women enter a science fiction writer's life, and, over the course of a few years, how much is he always comparing them to her? Or, how often is he like, she's the one who got away, no matter how much he might have told himself, yep, I buried this in this wall.
No, it's like love is, it's so beautiful. But it's not, it's actually scary. It's scary as shit. It's like, it is, what the fuck? Like, I feel, love is not something, it should be infinite, but like, there's so many, I don't know, there's so many times where all of a sudden it's just not there anymore, and that's such a weird thing. That is why does that happen?
What the fuck? Yeah,
like I feel like I have the capacity to love like everyone, but then no, obviously that's not the, like, that's I can't even handle one person at a time. That's that to go on to 2 and 3, like that's just not possible. But like, and then to no, there's 8 billion of us, maybe even more. We don't even know anymore. I think we've lost count, truly. Which is kind of crazy.
I just kind of trust whatever the figure they say it is. Like, there's no way for me to fucking know that, dude.
Yeah, like, they just said 8 billion, I feel like a couple months ago, just out of nowhere. That just hit. Like, we just hit 8 billion, and then it's like, oh, I think it's at, someone was like, I heard 10 billion, or like, we might have actually crossed 10, and I'm like, okay, no, this is actually fake. I don't know what to believe anymore.
I don't know how many people there are.
Yeah, well, one person. For one out of all of those people, like, what the fuck?
And that's the thing too, is that one of my favorite comedies of all time. It's a show. It's one me and Emily are actually rewatching right now, which is why I can reference it here. It's Broad City. So fucking funny. And never in a million years did anyone who's ever seen Broad City and In the Mood for Love think that I would bring up Broad City during a podcast about it. But there's a small moment in one of the episodes where one of the main characters, Alana, is babysitting an old acquaintance's kid, and she's like trying to mold his young mind, right? Like she's like, this kid is in danger of becoming a rich yuppie cunt, and I've got to make sure that he ends up being dope as fuck. So there's a point in the episode where, for some reason, the principles of monogamy come up, and someone says something about how, I think she says something about how she's in love with like 3 people right now. And the little dude's like, I thought you could only be in love with one person. She goes, don't let anyone ever tell you that that's the case. And it's played as a joke. And it's played as a funny moment, but she means it. And it's not something that, like in a monogamous society, we are very, very prone to believe that and trust that. But the thing is that you have to choose that. You have to choose monogamy. It's not pre-programmed into us. It's not something that's like, well, you are always going to end up with one person because there's only one person out there for you. It's preordained, and they'll happen to live at the same time as you. They'll happen to exist within your vicinity. You will happen to run into them. No, luck is just a massive factor in it, but circumstance is every bit as important. It's very real.
I just watched Interstellar recently, and like their plan B was just a bunch of sperm, bunch of eggs, frozen. Let's population bomb. Let's do this shit, So let's say we're on a new planet. We got, let's just say out of nowhere, we got 100K humans. Boom, new planet. No rules, no past anything. Do you think we for real just pair up 1-to-1 and then that's it? That's all we do? That actually feels weird, which is kind of wild.
That's so restricting. Yeah, it is. It is insane to think about. Like there's such a conservatism in that, and I don't mean that in the political agenda sort of sense. It's just so limiting, and again, I don't have any issue with it. I love the prospect of being monogamous. I love the prospect of having one person who is mine forever. Like we are equals. That's beautiful to me. I love that idea. But do I love that idea because I have always grown up thinking that is what I'm supposed to love? Or do I love that idea because I love that idea? You know what I'm saying? It
is strange. I think what it boils down to me is that I feel like I can love just about anyone on the planet to a degree, obviously. And then there is only, I feel like, one that I would choose to actually have a family with, to actually settle down, to eventually have kids. I feel like that's a decision that it does go to one. I could never just be like, okay, I'm gonna have 3 kids at the same time right now. That feels wrong. But is like in a vacuum. We're not in this world. I'm not going to just have 3 relationships at the same time. This is not what I'm saying. But like in that weird other planet where we don't have the social rules, it feels.
Well, and here's the other thing though, is that regardless of another planet with other rules and all that, like that is a thing people do here.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's not exactly something that is unheard of, which is why I'm like, and we, because of monogamy and because of the prospect of it, a lot of folks who do have multiple kids by multiple people end up being othered for it, and that's kind of bullshit. You know what I'm saying?
That's actually what evolution points to. For real. That's actually what we're made to do on the real. So it is
going back to what you were saying about how you feel like you could love anybody, but there's only that entirely depends on which person you choose to do that with. It's not like there's only one preordained person who is that person who you will inevitably do that with. No, again, circumstance plays into all that very, very heavily.
It really is just society. It is because, I know I'll have to buy a house, and that's, I can't have multiple houses, and then how to take care of one family. It is, just because of the structure of everything. But, yeah, if we're just fucking, hunter-gatherers
let's
just
go
fucking
for
around.
It. Let's everybody go for it.
Damn.
Yeah. I met Emily because we matched on Bumble. And just my side of circumstances. I'd gone to Mizzou. I'd dropped out of Mizzou. I'd come home. I'd gotten a job. I'd interviewed for multiple jobs, but I chose this one job, which took me closer to the city. I happened to be in that radius when we matched with each other, and that's how that's just the limited story of how we met. And that's just my side of things. She's from St. Louis. The fact that she was here at all indicates a whole other side of things. So, like, just the amount of luck that has to come into things, and again, circumstance, and just, I don't know. It's the odds of it are so insurmountable. It's why whenever anything creeps up, like in this movie, where their spouses are cheating on them with each other, and then they meet, and then they fall in love, I get him. I do. I get why he's like, I can't just let this go. You know, like, I'm going to leave my wife. Here we are. Like, it's hard to wrap your mind around the prospect of being able to fall in love with somebody else when you're already in a committed relationship. Now, not to say that he is in love with his wife. I think that being betrayed like that, and, you know, like, that does change things. It does make it easier to go, all right, well, deuces, you know?
If this truly was just business trip, and the other affair wasn't in there, then, like, this movie, I feel like, it's still, I don't know. I feel like the restraint is still there. Like, there is still the romance is there, but it is.
And there's still the restraint. It's actually arguably even more poignant that they would be restrained that way. Like, because, if that was the point of the movie, it would have been framed as they're always gone and they don't feel a responsibility to us and they don't feel like they should be around anymore. Like, they could be around, but they're not around. And, you know, so, like, it's their cheating is just almost a cherry on top for their circumstances, you know?
Yeah. 'Cause, like, at first, like, before I knew that the affair was even going on, like the initial affair, I don't even know what to truly call the other. It's like, I don't
emotional
know.
affair.
Yeah,
like, it's
but the real affair that's going on in the very beginning, before I knew that was even going on, they barely showed the other spouses at all. Like, in like,
they actually
like,
never show, like, their
from
faces
the back. Yeah. So okay, so good. I don't think I'm like, maybe one time there was like a face, or like I don't know.
No, they never show their faces. Yeah. Very specific choice.
And that is like, I'm like, okay, well, I think I know who the love story is going to be between, you know, I know this is, you know, I'm coming in like, okay, well, these are the only two people that can, like, fall. Okay. So I thought that they would be they were the first affair that was going on. So, like, I didn't know of the other affair at first, you know, so it's like, okay, I'm thinking that this is like,
they never give in. Like, they never actually give in. The only reason they ever actually talk is because they're like, so this is probably happening, isn't it? You know, like,
yeah, the tie and the purse and like, so, like, oh, okay.
They just continually pass each other. You know, like, that's all. They just continually see each other. They spot each other. They brush shoulders at the same place. They get food, and, you know, and they're like, hey, what's up? Bye. Deuces. All right. You know,
and then
one day they're like, shit. So, yeah, right.
This is happening. Yeah. Wow.
I love the scene whenever she gets trapped in his room, and she can't leave. And he has to, like, call in to work for her and all that stuff. Like, it's too good. They're playing Mahjong all night. Like the neighbors are.
They love that game. Oh my God. The domino. Oh, Mahjong. There's a name. Okay. Yeah. I didn't know if they're like, I just saw, like, them shuffling dominoes, or like little, those are the Mahjong. Is that the actual, those aren't dominoes. They're just, fuck. I think there's an actual name for them, but I'm not sure. But no, that was, I don't know. My when I was home
tiles?
for break,
Mahjong tiles.
Yeah, that sounds right. My mother had a little cards night, or I thought it was cards, and then I just saw the dominoes that were actually being used, and I'm like, what the? I'm like, I don't know of many games that can be played with dominoes actually. And then, like, I tried to look at it, or like,
Mahjong seems sick.
But these, these are just
they're going on like 8-hour benders of games here. They're like, we're playing all fucking night. She's on an unreal run right now. Like,
we're just gonna play 8
sick.
rounds. They're like, do you fucking believe that? They're like, yeah, fucking right. Like, they're going all night. This shit is lasting. Actually, it's lasting till the morning. Like, they're staying up.
We're not going to bed tonight. We're running this mahjong shit into the ground.
Like, chill, kind of. I mean, interesting living situation, like the apartment complex, and then like the is that like, what room were they playing in actually? Like, was that like a
seemed like a commute. It's either one of their apartments or like a community room. Like,
it felt like a shared kind of, like, for the floor,
like a shared space.
Almost. Yeah,
like almost like a dormitory shared space, like that communal space that's at the corner of it was at the corner of my dorm.
Yeah, and it's weird that, like, the shots it's always like through a doorway, or it's so tight, and like it feels like it feels like it should be claustrophobic, but it's like almost, it's not at all. Like, I don't feel claustrophobic at all. Like, it feels almost like I'm peering through kind of like a keyhole, or like I shouldn't actually be seen. I don't know. It did feel
you're getting privy to something that you're not supposed to be a part of. It's very poignant. I love the way the movie feels, man, and it's God, it's special. It's a gorgeous movie. It's beautiful to look at. It's heartbreaking, which, I'm always gonna love. There's an interesting distance that isn't always the case with foreign films, but I'm almost so focused the first time I watch a foreign film that I can't cry.
Yeah.
Like, I have to focus on what they're saying, and if I cry, I can't see what they're saying.
Yeah. No,
this is a movie that upon rewatch, whenever he whispers into the tree, it really gets me. I don't know why. I love that moment.
Fuck. Angkor Wat too. I was not expecting that. That was like, I'm like, yo. I'm like, wait. I'm like, it said like Cambodia, and I'm like, no fucking way. I'm like, I gotta make sure Angkor Wat's in Cambodia, right? Fucking look it up. The Google hits, and I'm like, fuck. I was like, let's fuck. I don't know why. It was just like that was. But now, upon rewatch, it is going to be totally different. And it is. Yeah, I think it is just a language barrier. We
absolutely. It's nothing.
Just can absorb English. Yeah, it's like you don't have to actually put too much thought into it. But no, like, when you have to read every single line of the movie, I think, and to say actually, there's not too much dialogue. Like, a lot of
it's very it's very intrinsic. It's very It's just very performance based, and exchanged glances and lingering looks. It's really, really good, and like the hands being close and nearly touching each other and all that good stuff. Like, that's just that's what I fucking live for, man. I love that tension. It's so fucking wonderful, and I love it in movies, man. It's my favorite thing, and they just capture that vibe so beautifully. And yeah, I love it. I don't have much else to say about In the Mood for Love, but I am in the mood for love. You get me?
I'm in the mood for more Wong Kar-Wai. Like, what? Yeah, why? Wong Kar-Wai did it take me so long to watch a Wong Kar-Wai movie? It's been but I'm glad I broke the seal. So I mean, I got 2046 feels kind of like the natural. I don't know. I'm very
definitely
intrigued.
The natural successor. It goes very, very well hand in hand. Magnificent filmmaker, magnificent movie. But I think with that, I can do some plugs. We can rate this movie on a scale of 1 to 10, and then we can get out of here. So keep on coming back to The Sentimentalist. Leave a 5-star rate and review wherever you might be listening. Download, I would appreciate that greatly. It's the only metric I really keep track of, and it's wonderful to see that number go up. Never goes down. Gotta love that. Never goes down. If it went down, I think it would hurt my soul a little bit. But it doesn't go down, so that's wonderful. Just keep on downloading episodes, baby. Just keep doing it, because we'll be back next week with Moonstruck. And then in February, we will be hitting Black History Month with a bunch of films by Black filmmakers. Very, very excited for that. And we'll officially announce that lineup next week on the episode featuring Moonstruck, starring Cher, Nick Cage, Norman Jewison film. Great
go.
movie. Excited to hit that one.
Nick Cage. Oh, I'm actually excited. The National Treasure Sandwich.
Hits your eye like a big pizza pie. That's amore. It's very, very.
He's going from Elvis to Italian. He's an Italian. Is he Italian here?
Cher is. Cher is Italian.
Okay.
I can't remember if he is. Yeah, I think he is. I'm pretty sure he is Italian. He actually is Italian. He's
in
Francis
real life?
Ford Coppola. Yeah, he's Francis Ford Coppola's nephew.
What the fuck? Wait,
Yeah.
you've probably told me that before.
He's Francis Ford Coppola's nephew, Jason Schwartzman's cousin,
Oh,
Talia
dude,
Shire.
Hollywood's too fucking weird. No, it's too.
Yeah.
What
No, the
hell?
Coppola family is big.
Damn.
There's a lot of them. I feel like he's related very closely to Talia Shire, the Rocky actress.
Wow, just everyone.
Family tree.
Wow, yeah, very
Curious about it. Yeah, that's something we'll focus on next week a little bit. But yeah, Moonstruck next week. A lot to look forward to there, namely Cher. Nick Cage is also fucking phenomenal in that, though. Great movie. Super excited. We'll be doing that next week. We also have a Twin Peaks podcast called Fire Pod with me. We brought up David Lynch, as we are wont to do. We always love some David Lynch, and we are almost done with Twin Peaks. Fire Pod with me is coming to a conclusion within the next couple weeks, but it will be there forever. It's friendly to the first-time viewer and the rewatcher alike. If you've never watched the show, you should check out our show alongside it. And if you have watched the show, hey, you can dive in wherever you want, baby. Go ahead and check it out. Fire Pod with me, a Twin Peaks podcast, far and away our most successful show. Started like a full year after this one did and is outpacing it by miles. It's not even close. So you got to go ahead and check that out. Let's see. Geek with Me. Geek with Me is back, baby, as of this week, really. We are going to be discussing a Night of the Seven Kingdoms. Periodically, probably every week, we're going to pair it with a little bit of a talking point every week. And this week it's Kathleen Kennedy stepping down from Lucasfilm. The Star Wars Maul Shadow Lord trailer dropped. Maybe we got the recording in time to discuss that a little bit. There's a lot to look forward to. So Geek with Me is officially back in the swing of things, and it's all things geeky. All the nerd shit that you can think of, we're going to try to capture over there. So Wonder Man is coming up soon, the new Marvel show. Got that to look forward to, which actually looks pretty good. I love me some Yahya Abdul-Mateen, so there's that. We'll be doing that on Geek with Me. So, stick with us on all our shows. Leave a 5-star rate and review. Download wherever you might be listening. And let's rate In the Mood for Love. On a scale of 1 to 10, all of these abstract feelings that we've been putting out into the universe, assign them a numerical value. On a scale of 1 to 10, including 0.25 intervals, how do you feel about In the Mood for Love?
This is an interesting one. It's, I guess, it's so artful and like art house that like it feels like a 10, but I don't know why there's hesitation to not quite throw it there.
I think it's the lack of emotion. I think it is something that...
maybe.
Again, it's the inaccessibility of a film you don't speak the language of. I think that a rewatch would give you the opportunity to get it that high. But even so, it's not for me. There's a different level. I think that this is. I mean, it's very, very close to a 10. I'm gonna settle at a 9.75. It's that beautiful. It's that gorgeous. It's that well performed. But 10's a feeling. You know it. You feel it.
Yeah.
You feel it immediately, regardless of the language of the film.
True.
So I think that's something that I think you have no doubts about, kind of immediately. For example, a movie that I don't speak the language of makes me cry and made me cry immediately. Portrait of a Lady on Fire. There was never even a doubt about that. Very, very quickly, boom, you're done for. 10s across the board.
That's true. That was a tenor. That one was. You do feel it. That is true. It is something. If there is that hesitation, then it's not truly there. But yeah, no, that I was gonna say I am not far down. And in fact, I think I will join you, because of how beautiful it did look, how well. I don't understand the language, but I understand every emotion that is going on.
I understand everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
And like I said earlier, it's watertight, dude. There's no leaks. It's it's vacuum sealed. There's no holes I can poke where I can be like, I wish this was done a little better. I don't know how you possibly make this movie better.
Yeah. And man, I feel like my view, like, I don't know, I'm much more in the camp of team restraint. The kid, is interesting. I don't know how to...
Immaculately conceived, created by the midichlorians.
It is Anakin Skywalker in 2046 is the fuck... He kills all the kids. He grows
kills
up
all the Jedi. Yeah.
Kills them all. But no, I feel like this is a movie where my views could change, like, over time, which is... I had not...
love an interpretive...
Yeah.
Love one up for interpretation. That's always good. It's always good. But yeah,
good
975s across the board on
your
Cinementimeter.
Damn. You put together a slate, dog.
What do we got right now? 10, 10, 975, 975?
Yeah. And, I mean, rating-wise, you're killing it. I'm just, like, this is such a variety pack of romance movies. Like, you are hitting everything, I feel like. So, yeah,
I did my best. It's my favorite genre. I wanted to show up and show out a little bit. We've already covered a lot of great romance movies, and, to not retread and try to find some variety here has been a great time. And these aren't even strictly my 5 favorites ever or anything. They're just 5 of my favorites, and Titanic is definitely one of my 5 favorite movies ever.
Yeah, it's true. Do have Titanic in there. That one.
Yeah, it's just still good.
I mean, damn.
But we're gonna top off the month beautifully with Moonstruck. Yeah. Again, a step in a different direction. The only one I would compare to a rom-com. But it's definitely not a rom-com, but definitely feels the most like a rom-com, but it's not a rom-com.
Okay. Feels like a rom-com, not a rom-com. Could be a rom-com.
And I'll dive into that feeling a little bit more. It's just, I'll dive into that feeling a little bit more next week, of course. But, yeah, not quite a rom-com, but, I couldn't blame anybody for saying it is. We all have our interpretations of things. Yeah, we'll be back next week, baby. 975 on the Cinementimeter for In the Mood for Love. Moonstruck. We'll see if it fares as well. I'd be, I don't know. It's tough. Probably not. But it's so good. I love it. And we'll be back next week with it. I was Colton Robertson. I was joined by Joseph George. Thank you very much, homie.
Oh, thank you for having me. It is always a pleasure to be here, homie.
Oh, and it is always a pleasure to have you. And remember... I am in the mood. No. Let's see. What's a good quote from this movie? This is another part that's always difficult with foreign language films, is that quotes don't stick with me because
moments
I don't understand them. I don't hear them. And also, I don't think this has a quotes tab on IMDb. So, yeah, I'm just going to go with the joke I was going to tell. We're all in the mood for love, aren't we? In the end, really... The mood for love was the friends we made along the way.